Hello everyone, this is Profile of the Throwaway modeler. Today I'm going to show you how to install the Black Ice mod. This works for any mod really, since it's the same procedure. So the first thing you want to do is get Hearthstone free with the following DLC. For the motherline, Semper Fi, this is not the correct one. To find the correct one, go here. So Semper Fi it is. And their finest hour. We just go down here. Yep, there it is. Their finest hour. So you have to have this free DLC for the mod to work. Most of the mods for Hearthstone free are based on these free mods, and it's not that more expensive once you get in a bundle. So once you bought it, go to your library and install it. It isn't really important where, but just install it. Once the game has been installed, go to where it is, properties, then there should be a button here called betas, and select the 4.02 no security fix. This basically allows you to actually play the game without it crashing every minute, so while loading. So just do that. Next up, follow my crash fix for Hearthstone free, since this will help a lot with the crashes, which are a bit more common in Black Ice. Next up, go to the Paradox forums under the Black Ice. It should be other games, Paradox Studios, previous games, Hearthstone 3 modifications, and there should be a button called Black Ice. And find the newest version. Here it is, 10.33 for this time around. And simply download it. Once you have downloaded it, open it up, press Ctrl C or Ctrl X, whatever you prefer. Now go to your Hearthstone free folder under Steam Apps and Common. Find the TFH folder, their finest hour, and go to mod right here. And just paste Ctrl V or do this slidey thing. Yep, like that. And now we wait. Since this is a quite large mod, I see 3 GB, it does take a while. This one has finished transferring, but I want to talk about additional mod for Black Ice. It's a sub mod called Third Reich Events. It adds a lot of new events, political leaders, OBs, not just for Germany, but for all other nations as well. So I suggest you get it as well. There's a version for the newest Black Ice, I think on the last page or somewhere near there. Now, the Third Reich Events is a sub mod, which means it's dependent on Black Ice. Now, because of that, it needs a certain version of Black Ice to work, and to find out which version it's made for, open it with Notepad, the mod file, not the Third Reich Events folder, but the mod file. It says here dependencies Black Ice 10.33. We have that folder, so that means it is for this version. A thing to note: if this doesn't say 10.33, but I know 10.4 or some other lower version like 10.0, you can simply just write 10.33, and most likely the mod will still work with that version of Black Ice as well. I know this since I've done it multiple times already. I must mention an additional step. This was pointed out by Vitor Souza, I believe is their name, and that is to move the game from the Steam folder up to some non-Steam folder. This is since Steam checks for file validity, it might replace the fix for the 4 GB fix that is prevents crashing. It might replace it with the original file. So I suggest you move it to some other place. I just moved it to program files x.x86. And if the shortcut doesn't work, just use the launcher and make a shortcut of that, and it should work without any problems. The only downside to this is that the hours won't be counted in Steam, but that's about it. So once you've done that, you can open up your Hearthstone 3, and this should be visible. So the latest version 4.02, and it should look like this. Now to play just Black Ice, you need to press here. You need to have a check mark right here, and if you want to play third rank events, you need to checkpoint both Black Ice and third rank events. And now just play start Hearthstone 3. Now the first time you're loading Hearthstone 3 Black Ice, it will take a long time, and the music is probably way too loud currently, since it's from default, but we shall see how it will be later on. I suggest you restart your PC just so you can get all the files and everything in order, and to prevent some crashing that might occur otherwise. So once you're in game, I suggest you go to custom start and set up the resolution to 1080p and put on COD to show unit names as well, along maybe the refresh rates depending on your monitor. Mine's 50-60 Hz, and now you have to restart the game, so it actually comes into effect. And once you restarted, you're set. Just go single player. I have to note, custom games does not work with Black Ice. I don't think scenarios work either. Maybe they do, I'm not completely sure. I never actually tried them myself. Also a thing to note, Black Ice is a lot different than base game, and it's a lot more harder to manage everything and to beat the game. So if you're completely new to Hearthstone 3, I don't suggest that you play Black Ice. You need to have at least some experience with the game to get started. Also, I should mention that Black Ice does actually crash. Even with the crash fix, it does crash, especially after 42-43. When the save files go in hundreds of megabytes, so that's also something to look forward to as well. Not like base game where you basically don't crash if you have the crash fix, or very rarely. As for starting nations, I highly suggest Italy, Japan and China, since all three are kind of in their world of their own. With Italy you can go Africa, you can go beat everything in Africa, then go Soviet Union. With Japan, there's fun in China. With China there's fun with Japan. They're fun little nations. I don't suggest you starting off with Germany or the Soviet Union, especially those two, since they're far too large and there's also so many units for you to manage. So I suggest something smaller, just to get you acquainted to the game. Also, do not alt tab. This is a problem with Reddit, since you do get notifications quite often, but that's just something you have to live with. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If there's anything you need some help on, feel free to drop a comment. And that's about it. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.